Well, folks, it looks like Christmas might be here early.
Merry Christmas!
The interest rates are starting to come down. I just spoke to our lender yesterday. She said that she got some clients a sub 6% interest rate with only a 1% buy down and, of course, having great credit. But that's amazing because these interest rates have been crazy, right? All these people have been priced out of the market because the home prices are still really high and the interest rates have been too high. So folks are finally going to be able to have a chance to buy a house. But it's not all rainbows and kittens. We're going to look at what experts are telling us we can expect over the next 6 to 12 months if you are in this housing market looking to purchase or sell a home. And then we're going to look at some predictions being made by some other experts saying that this might actually really hurt our economy a little bit later down the road. For some people, this feels a little bit premature. Feels like it has to do with some of the political things going on, but we're just going to take a look at it because anybody who is looking at making a purchase in the next 6, 12, 18 months, this might definitely affect your decision making. So let's dive in. All right, welcome back to another episode of Living Life in North Idaho. My name is Trent, and on this channel, we talk about what it's like living, eating, working, playing, and buying real estate here in Idaho. Of course, if that's of interest to you, you know what to do. You got to tap the subscribe button. You got to hit the notification bell so every time I come out with a new video, you're getting notified. Now, just a little preface before we dive into what the experts are saying we can expect over the next 6 to 12 months. I am not an economist. I am not in finance. I am a professional in my industry, which is real estate. So please take what I say with a grain of salt. Now, being a real estate agent, I definitely need to know about these things and I need to understand and try to give advice the best I can. But I always tell my clients, go talk to an authority figure on this subject before you make a big investment. Now, my team and I are here to help anybody learn more about moving to Idaho and help them get moved to Idaho and find housing. That's what we are really, really good at doing. But outside of that, and you can always reach out at the phone number or email address listed below if you want our help doing that. But outside of that, take my information with a grain of salt, compare it to other sources, talk to the trusted people in your life, and make a decision based on that. This is your life, it's your money, and you're ultimately the one who's responsible for it. So with that said, let's dive in and talk about what the experts are predicting is going to be happening. As you can see, there's a lot of information on this. I'm going to boil this down. This is the CEO of Realtor.com. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Realtor.com. I know why they exist. It seems like a great way of being able to just get the information and not have to talk to anybody, but they do gather your information and they do sell it, and I don't love that. But here's what he has to say. This is the summary of what he's saying. Falling rates and market impact. Mortgage rates have recently fallen to 6.47%, and experts predict they could drop further by the end of the year. This shift could encourage more homeowners to sell and increase buyer activity, particularly for those who are previously priced out of the market due to high rates. Great news, right? We're going to see people who are finally able to get back in the market. We're going to see the economy start to get stimulated again, and hopefully people can get out of renting and into an asset that will build them wealth over time. Home sellers and buyers. The lock-in effect where homeowners hesitate to sell due to favorable existing mortgage rates may ease as rates drop. This could increase housing inventory, and more buyers who couldn't afford higher rates will return to the market, making both selling and buying more accessible. Super, right? Now people who, like me, have been stuck in their house because the interest rate is too dang good and I can't really afford to even buy the same house at today's current interest rates. Finally, I have some wiggle room and I can start to make adjustments, and other people like me can make adjustments. That's going to add more inventory to the market and hopefully bring prices down a little bit further, but maybe not. Hold on. Sales surge. With rates improving, more buyers are likely to jump into the market. Sellers are advised to prepare their properties for listing early to avoid increased competition as more homes are listed. Mortgage applications are already starting to rise, signaling renewed buyer activity. So, maybe not, right? Maybe now that there's more inventory, which obviously more supply means that the price should drop. But if demand is also increasing, Econ 101, that means that the price could ultimately, depending on how much demand there is, could ultimately drive prices higher. Home prices, despite more sellers and buyers entering the market, experts anticipate home prices will stay high due to a continued housing shortage. Some regions may see minor price drops, but major declines aren't expected, unless the economy weakens significantly. So this is where, I'm not going to spoil it, but this is where some of the other experts are predicting this might actually hurt the economy in the long run. It feels like it's a little bit premature, and we're going to get into that in a second. Here's the last one that the CEO of Realtor.com is saying. Multiple offers. As buyer competition intensifies, sellers could see multiple offers, giving them negotiating leverage. This might result in higher sales price or fewer contingencies, providing smoother, quicker deals. However, sellers should choose offers carefully, considering terms like financing and closing timelines over just the highest bid. So here we go again. This is what happened during the pandemic. It was such a seller's market that people were throwing money to get into houses. And now some of those people are actually underwater. And they should have expected this, right? They were throwing money, 50, 100,000 over asking. Clearly that you're not going to see an increase in the market that quickly. Now, over time, they probably won't be underwater, but we don't want this. This is not good, okay? I know a lot of people think, oh, well, you real estate agents love a market like that. No, we don't. Some clients were making 5, 10, 15 offers before they got one accepted. They were giving up things like inspection contingencies or the contingency on sale of their home. They were putting themselves in pretty vulnerable situations. And I don't think that's smart. Hopefully we don't go back there. I don't think we will. But this is, again, why we're starting to go, wait a second, isn't this a little premature? Shouldn't the prices dropped a little bit further? So let's talk about right now why the interest rates had to shoot up. In case you forgot, it's been 2.5 years. Let's talk about why that happened. Now, if you go back to pre-2020, there were corporations that were buying up thousands of single family dwellings, and they were paying a lot more than asking price for some reason. And that drove up the prices even further. And so people were like, well, shoot, I mean, they'll pay whatever. And now I've got this pile of cash. And then the event that happened in 2020, if y'all remember what that was, made people go, get me out of the city, get me off the coast. I'm moving to small rural town, America, starting over, and I'm bringing all my money with me. So with limited houses for sale and not a lot being built, that made the supply pretty low. And when you have people that want something with plenty of money, that drives the price up. It's both the people with the money and it's the people who want to get all that money. It's both of their fault that this happened. And then you also had people who are buying multiple homes. So that is a good recipe for getting that price to jump up a lot. On top of that, there is a massive shortage of housing. I mentioned that before, but yeah, lots of houses still needing lots of houses. And then a lot of people that came over into our country and they need housing too. So it only compounded the problem. Then you add a whole bunch of printing the money for the event that happened in 2020. And now you have a recipe for hyperinflation. And they did a good job. They stopped it because you know what really stinks? What's going on in Venezuela. We don't want that here. We got a small taste of it. It could have been a lot worse. So I do have to say they did a pretty good job with that. But this is where experts are starting to go, wait a second, like it feels a little bit early to be letting off the brake pedal here. We're going to start hitting the gas, and especially around the season that we're in with politics, we'll see. We're definitely going to see, this is what the experts are predicting, we're going to see an increase in activity in the economy. It's going to allow people to get into a house who are able to do it, which is great. It's going to allow people to get out of the house that they're in and get into another house because people have kids. They need additional space. So you don't necessarily want to be stuck, right? So that's going to be good. But if they have timed this too early, where a lot of people are starting to go, it feels early, this could end up creating the problem again that we had to stop the first time. And the first time you stop it, like the shock to the economy when you're raising those interest rates, that's the hardest part. That's what makes the country go, whoa, 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 whoa. And it makes investors go, whoa, how bad is this going to get? And they pull their money out of the markets or out of the economy and they put it somewhere safe, good store of value so they don't lose a bunch of the value of their money. They're not out there necessarily making investments and buying things, and that's how you stop the inflation from happening. So if you start letting off that gas pedal and people start spending again, and then they have to go back and stop it again, it could really ultimately hurt the economy in a much bigger way. we're kind of in a precarious situation. For those who are paying attention with the national debt, with the things going on in our country and in the world, this feels a little bit precarious. So yes, celebrate right now. Go and spend money. Go and get that house if you have been waiting and you can comfortably afford it, but don't stretch too far. Make sure you have an emergency fund because we don't know what is going to happen after this year is up. Like I said, the experts that I know that know the economy, they know finance, are saying this could definitely lead to something bad, and it feels politically motivated. So I know that's not necessarily the bright, cheery, hey, it's Christmas time. Yes, it is, and we're getting some candy, but don't eat the whole bowl. Make sure you're saving some. Make good decisions. Don't just take my word for it. Make sure that you're doing your due diligence. And of course, if you are serious about getting moved to Idaho, reach out to me and my team at the phone number or email address listed below. We'd love to help you get moved here if it's the right time for you to do it. If not, that's okay too. Idaho will still be here, unless Yellowstone blows up. But, nothing like that's going to happen. Thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate the support. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment in the comments section letting me know if you think I'm wrong, and we'll have a little debate. Until the next one, I'll see you later.